So I'm sure you're tired to hear my voice now, but don't be tired. It's another message. Again, we talk about Black Lives Matter, and I was talking to my niece in Jamaica, and one of the things that we're been talking about is yeah, we talk about Black Lives Matter, and yes, they do. But are we abusing the mantra? Are we these young people who, you watch them on the TV and you look at what happens before the other things happen. And one of the things that I would notice is since Black Lives Matter, people are chanting. People want better. They want to see better. They want our people to do better. But one of the things that I notice out there is once realize they have the support, you find that some of them, when they're confronted by the police or if the police ask them to stop, they keep walking away or they're mouthing things, or the police stops the car and the first thing, oh, you're stopping me because I'm black, or they come up with reasons that doesn't even make sense instead of just listening, following directions and keep it, you know, it becomes they create this confrontational situation, and even in the classroom you see it often when you might just say to a student, um, you need to just stop so that the other kids can learn. And instead of saying I'm sorry and stop, they want to question you. Why are you even in my face? Don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. No, I ask the kids often, how do you think I should respond to that? Because as a teacher, we are trained and we have to know how to not escalate things. But how would you respond to a child telling you as an adult, get out my face, don't say nothing to me. Why are you even here? Why are you talking to me? You're the adult in the room. You have to guide, you have to teach. And so you see the behaviors that how they happen in the classroom and how it makes you feel as an adult. So you think of them out in the street, much older, um, much tougher, and just think of somebody saying to them, stop, or somebody say, let me see your license. And it becomes, why? Because I'm black. Instead of just looking at the situation that, okay, so I must have done something wrong. And then a lot of times they get out, they start running. They get out, it's things can be different. But as we chant Black Lives Matter, let us also teach them to be respectful, to listen and follow directions, because we're not above the law. We need to listen, we need to do the things that I'm not saying that there are not people out there who are crazy enough to do. But I think when I look at a lot of the situations that escalated into other things, if they had just, it didn't have to. It didn't have to. And I'm not saying anyone should shoot anyone, even though we as black people are killing each other for no reason, for less than the police are shooting people down out there for. And I'm not saying that with any mean spirit way, in any mean spirited way, but we have to look at both sides of the coin. Because even though we're asked in Black Lives Matter, we're saying these things, we see that people are still getting killed. So let us fix both situations. Let us ask our black people to be respectful, to be decent, to know where they are, what they're doing, so that when they're pulled over, they don't have to be running because something is in the car they don't want found, or they're wanted for something, or the car is stolen. But let us teach them that when these things happen, we're not going to back you. We're not going to back you when these things happen. So make sure when you go out there that you're doing the right things. Let us go out there and do the right things. And so that in the end, when these things come about, the tears are not in vain. So I just needed to speak on it because I see a lot where people just feel like, oh yeah, we're gonna make some money off this, and so they just challenge people out in the street, and people are afraid too. Don't look at it one way and think that. I personally remember when I was mugged, and I wasn't mugged by white boys. I was mugged by my own black people in my community. mugged at gunpoint. I just have to thank God. I thought I would have gone crazy to know that I was just coming from work. I didn't even have money in my wallet. I had $1 in my bag when the two boys ran up and ran in front of me and pulled the gun out on me. That wasn't a nice thing, you know. And for what? So we have to teach them, we have to let them know that it's one thing when we're out there chanting that our lives matter, but it's another thing when we are out there creating situations that are totally unnecessary, that we feel empowered. You look at children whose parents, when if a teacher talks to the kid in school, they go home, they tell the parents a story. Instead of the parents coming to you as an adult and say, look, my child said this or my child said that, let's talk. What happened? Nope, they stay home and they talk badly about teachers and they cuss and they carry on. You know what the kid does when they come back to school? They do worst. Because now they feel like, my mom doesn't even like you. You know, that's how they talk to us. They come in and they let us know, my mom doesn't even like you. So and you look now, no, you can't talk to the kid because he or she knows that mom is on their side, right? So instead of the behaviors get better, the behaviors get worse. And I see that happening, you know, with our kids, with our young men out there. People are chanting, people are protecting, people are crying out on their behalf. And so instead of them getting better, we see that they're still out there challenging the cops. It's not an easy thing. When you have to, you yourself, you're afraid because these kids are not joking. You know, they're not afraid. They challenge you. They have a weapon. You see them shooting at these people. And then they want to go home to their parents too, their families too. So you have kids out there who are so they are so daring, they don't care. And so it's a catch-22 and it's a two-sided thing, and we have to look at both sides of it. We have to look at both sides. I tell my son, I said, you get pulled over, please, you listen, follow directions. If they hurt you while you're following directions, another thing. It's a different story. But if you go there running your mouth because they ask you to stop, you feel like you need to challenge, you need to talk back, you need to say things that are not necessary, you need to run away as if you're running from something, you need to, then the outcome is going to be harsh. But what am I supposed to do? I can't go out there to march and to say, oh, your life matter when you didn't try to do the right thing. So parents, I'm begging you, don't just sit there. Know your kids are doing the wrong things. Know that they're stealing, they're selling drugs, they're bringing the money home to some of you. You know what's going on. You are participating in it. You are getting the monies to do your thing. And I know this because I know enough a lady years ago, and her wealth didn't come from working hard. Her wealth came from her son peddling the drugs. And when he pulls the guns on other people, she covers it up. She goes up, and before the police come, she grabs the gun from him, put it in her breast, and the boy walks scot-free. But in walking, he did some ugly things. He did some harsh things, and I look and I shake my head because she might have gotten houses out of it and all of that. But what did it even matter? It didn't even work out to anything because now I don't even think the boy talks to her. So we have to teach our kids the right things. We cannot be so angry. And then we think our kids are going to be nice and decent. The behaviors we practice at home are the behaviors the kids feed into. So please, as we try to build and we're asking for better, and we see in Jamaica the bloodshed all over the place. Let us understand that poverty creates a lot of problems too. But again, if some kids can live without stealing and hurting people and getting caught up into the harsh things, then I think more of us can do it. So I just had an epiphany tonight and I just needed to talk about it and to not just talk about one thing and not the other thing, because we have to fix these little things so that we can be better off than where we are. We have to fix them. And so I try in the classroom to do that. I try in my home to make sure that, I am supporting. I don't push my kids away because I feel like what they're going to, oh, you're buying a house, can you afford it? I don't do that. You're buying a house, how can I help you? That's what we're supposed to do. You know, you're buying a car, I don't really care for that type. Why you're choosing that? But in the end, you don't let them go on the street corner to steal or to, you support and encourage, make sure and encourage them to work. And so that they come in with $50. They need 20, put it on there and help them. Don't let them have to become, live less, or because we feel like, oh, if they can't afford it, they shouldn't touch it. No, let us encourage and help them. Don't go out and just buy them a nice car. But if they're trying, help them up. Help them up. If they're trying, help them up. Don't push them down. So that's how I raise my kids, and believe me, I have not regretted it yet. And I will continue supporting them. We will continue to support them. My husband does too. As long as they are working, as long as they're respectful, as long as they're trying. I don't have riches to give to them, but what I have, I'm always willing to share with them. And it does work out. It does work out. So help them to get into their beds and sleep well, and teach them to share and teach them the good things. And if you teach it to them, believe me, those good things will blossom and bloom. So again, they can learn on their own. I always said if they didn't need us to guide them and to provide for them and to believe in them and to support them, then they would be like a cow's calf or a goat's kid that is born in the morning, and within the hour they have to be up on their feet, standing up, trying to move around because they don't have the luxury of laying around. Our children need us from birth. You see, you have to nurture them. And as they grow, you have to build the character. And as they grow, you have to continue to nurture. Let them know what love is. You have to teach. You have to model by your behavior, the way we speak, the way we care, the way we respect. All of these things have to be taught to them, to be industrious, to be honest, to be decent, to be kind, to carry themselves with dignity and pride. All of these things have to be taught. So if we don't teach it, they can't give it back, because they don't know it unless we teach it to them. And when we teach it at home, because home is the first school, then when they get to schools and teachers and reinforce it, we're going to have stronger, better people to deal with. So just need to talk. I'm the long-winded teacher, but there's so much to share, and I sometimes we have to say it, because if we don't say it, then people won't know it. So as we talk about Black Lives Matter, let us not use it as a abuse it. Let us use it because it is needed, but let's not use it as a crutch to do things that are negative and harsh. But let us use it so that when people go out there, they don't have to feel embarrassed when recordings come out to show exactly what happened. Let it be used to really empower our communities so that we can have better. And again, better starts with each and every one of us, whether it's the church, the school, the home in particular. Let's help our children. If we believe in them, they will become achievers. So let us believe in them, let us help them, let us support them. My fat chin. But today I walked. Last night I walked. I was out in the backyard doing laps. And today I had to get my hair done. And I walked all the way up to the ladies' shop. And then when I was finished at about 6:44, I walked back home. So I have to be grateful. I have to be so thankful, because these things are blessings. These are things that are blessings. So my people, have a good night. And again, I said, if you can't be good, be careful. Walk good. Love yourself. Love others. Respect, respect, respect. Because it's free. You don't have to pay for them. So let us just give it in abundance so that we can be better people. We can be the best us we can ever be. Let us command respect so that people will want to come in our communities and help us. And when they come to help, we can say, yes, this is what we have. We can use that. Help me to make it better. But don't sit back and talk about what I don't have. What we don't have, we don't have. And when we do have a lot, we just don't want to see what we have. We want to see what the Browns have on their side. But we have a lot to be thankful for, and we have a lot of opportunities right where we are. We have to find them, use them to build so that we can be better people. So have a good night. Stay blessed. Can walk good.